Love that car.
Callum, have you ever seen your ex-wife become physically violent?
Yeah, Narelle's been in a few bitch fights in her time. She and Tony went to a rough high school. She probably saw more fights than me when she was young.
You said that she could be vindictive?
She was a real piece of work during the divorce. You don't think that she killed Tony?
Well, we're keeping all options open at this stage.
Including me.
Why did you and Narelle split? Did you suspect her of having an affair with Dane?
No, we split because she supported Dane after he was convicted of murder.
You thought he was guilty?
Well, we all did, didn't we? The whole country.
You're his best mate.
I guess so.
You gave evidence against Dane, right?
Yes.
Do you remember what you said?
Yeah, that Tony called me the night she was killed. Said that Dane had hit her again. I went straight round there. Dane was out. Tony was packing her bags.
Don't beat me up!
Said she's finally going to leave him. She's sick of him sleeping around, sick of him beating her.
Was it unusual for Tony to call you and not a best friend for help?
No, that was why they fought. Dane thought we were having an affair.
And were you?
It's all going to be okay, I promise you. No, we weren't.
So what happened next?
Well, I convinced Tony to stay with Dane, and then I went home. 3 hours later, she was dead. Now, if I told her to leave, I don't know, maybe she'd still be alive today.
So why didn't you? Why convince her to stay with a wife beater?
Because I loved her. Right? I loved her, and I was worried that was clouding my judgment, that if I told her to leave, it'd be just because I wanted her to.
Did you really go straight home that night, Callum?
Yes.
You didn't stay and try and convince Tony to leave with you?
No.
And when she wouldn't go, you get in a fight and then hit her across the head with a golf
Hey,
club?
whoa. You've got it all wrong, mate. Right? I could never hurt Tony. So,
You still think this was Dane?
fine. You know what? Dane was a hell of a cricketer. But the way he treated women was a disgrace. So, yeah, I still think that was him.
OK, so Callum O'Brien was in love with Tani and resented Dane. And his ex-wife was in love with Dane but resented Tani.
It's not even a love triangle, it's a love square.
It's doing my head in.
Right, word from on high.
Sarge?
Commander Waverley's been trying all day to get some sense out of the Tribune.
Nothing about what they got from Deep Throat?
No, not so far.
I can't understand why they aren't printing.
I thought the editor was one of Waverley's old buddies.
So the Commander feels as if she's been stonewalled, so she wants us to try another tack.
Oh, and how do we do that?
We don't. You do, Reese.
What?
Talk to Tim Paget. You've built up quite a rapport, haven't you?
Well, yeah, that's one way of putting it, Sarge, but he's not about to just give me a scoop.
I'm sure you'll find a way, Reese.
How?
Use your charm. Work your magic.
Well, I would, but Tim Paget's a precocious, ambitious little weasel.
You got something in common then.
How did you get in here?
Takeaway coffee, best cynical face. Fit right in.
What do you want?
Well, actually, it's more about what I can give you.
Well, I've already got my own sources, thank you, though.
I just thought you might want the inside scoop on the Tani Major's murder investigation, but hey, I could be wrong.
Well, what do you got?
Did you know we had Narelle O'Brien in for an interview today?
Well, and her ex-husband, Callum. Yeah, and they were both released without charge. I had a bit of a chat to Narelle. You got anything else? You don't, do you? You have nothing.
That information you're working on was meant for me.
Only because you were pretending to be me.
Details.
Hey, I'm not complaining. Because of you, mate, I have the story of a lifetime.
We're trying to solve a murder here, Tim. In your career?
Get your hand off it. Like you're not trying to climb the ladder yourself.
I'm trying to work a homicide.
Yeah, I bet homicide looks real good on your resume, doesn't it?
Tani Majors was beaten to death. And a colleague of mine, a damn good detective, he could lose his career over these corruption claims.
You have no idea what was in that envelope, do you? Mate, it's bigger than a homicide. It's way bigger than Nick Buchanan.
Just tell me what it is. Please, Tim, just a heads up.
Sorry, mate, you're just gonna have to read my article. Another front page. It shouldn't be long now.
Dane Majors murdered my daughter. And if Sergeant Dalton hadn't planted that evidence, he'd still be in jail today.
If Sergeant Dalton hadn't planted that evidence, he would never have gone to jail in the first place.
You and Sergeant Dalton were close during the investigation and trial.
We were mates for 10 years. Till the day he admitted planting the evidence. The day he let my girl's killer go free.
In Dalton's suicide note, he mentioned that another person was involved in planting the golf club.
Yes. Detective Nick Buchanan.
Detective Buchanan wasn't named in the letter.
Well, he found the golf club. Makes sense. He and Dalton were working together.
We're investigating the possibility that someone else was involved. Someone who wanted more than anything to put Dane in prison for murder.
You think I was in on it?
We?
I knew nothing about it.
And what about your daughter's death? You know anything more about that?
Like what?
Did you murder her, Mr. Proctor? Did you take one of Dane's golf clubs and beat the life out of her?
How could you ask me that? Of course I didn't. I raised that girl. I gave her everything she could possibly need. I loved her.
And you never got angry with her? You never fought?
Only about one thing. Dane Majors. I tried to get her to leave him. I told her it wasn't worthwhile. The money, the lifestyle. Look, just look at this. This is how she looked the first time he beat her up. I tried to give it to the press today, but they just didn't want to know. They said the story had passed on. If the press want to paint Dane Majors as a hero and a victim, fine. But you know the truth. That's who Dane Majors is.
Nothing like Tim Paget.
Sorry?
Me and the reporter. Chalk and cheese, right?
Yeah, if you say so.
Well, ambition's one thing, sure, but trying to sabotage a murder investigation for a front page, that's...
Yeah, but what do you expect? He's a journo.
Duncan, paper's posted the story.
Sarge!
Looks like Tim Paget's got his front page. State's Attorney General linked to planted evidence.
We shouldn't have planted that evidence. So Lombardi's the we in Dalton's suicide note.
Lombardi emailed Dalton 3 days before the murder weapon was found. He wrote this. We need that golf club. Without it, I can't guarantee a conviction.
I'm not sure it counts as proof.
It's a bit of a coincidence.
I want to remind you, you are not here to clear Nick Buchanan's name. You are here to uncover the truth.
That's right. If you can't do that, piss off. It's too early and I'm too grumpy.
Your first priority is Tani Major's murder investigation. Superintendent and I will handle the Attorney General.
Can't wait.
In an hour, we will be questioning the highest officer of law in the state about his involvement in perverting the course of justice. So I want every possible bit of background I can have at my fingertips. I will not be underprepared.
It's deep throat. Tim Paget speaking.
What the hell were you thinking? You held back on information when you printed.
Yeah, actually, I just wanted to seek clarification on that first.
Look, the information is clear.
Absolutely it is, but...
Dynamite. Body will get away with it.
Okay. No, it's gone.
What the hell do the papers have? Well, something their lawyers don't want them to print. I mean, if they've got dynamite against the Attorney General, it'd be nice to know what it is before we go waltzing in there.
We can't wait. We'll just have to wing it. Come on, give me the background, please.
Let's go. We're here to see the Attorney General.
Just see if he's ready.
Thank you very much.
The police are here for the Attorney General.
We're here to give you a chance
Thanks.
to go on record. Tell your side of the story.
Shut up. You've got bloody cheek coming in here with unsubstantiated backdoor gossip, Alan.
Oh, no, Michael, that is so typical of you, demeaning your detractors so no one will take them seriously.
Check your facts and your source before you press print next time.
We're here to give you a chance to go on record, Attorney. Tell your side of the story.
There is no story. Please, take Boy Blunder here back to his playpen.
Putting me down.
Shut up. Michael. A cadet exposing the Attorney General with an anonymous tip-off? You are reaching.
Alan.
Ah, Bernice.
Attorney General.
Under. And if you try and run any more of this libel, the best you can hope for is a lawsuit.
I'll add it to the pile.
I want this taken down to police headquarters. Get it sorted out properly. Have my car brought round.
We'll see you back at Homicide.
Yes, I think I remember where it is. Bloody journos.
Yeah, worse than politicians.
That bad.
Bernie. Bernice. We couldn't publish the last piece of the puzzle because the lawyers got a bit skittish, but take this. And when you get the chance, stick it up Lombardi's backside for me, will you? Of course, Benny, that was my car. I was just about to... If I hadn't turned back to talk to you,
You're a very lucky man, Alan.
Look, I'm sorry. I'm usually a fair bit cooler than this.
What's the latest, Sergeant?
We're doing a full canvass of the area and we've pulled all available security footage.
Bombies reckon it was a homemade job. Rudimentary.
You got any idea who might be responsible, Alan?
You want them alphabetically?
Well, I think there's a fair chance it's related to the Dane Majors investigation.
Yeah, could be. Now, listen, have you got someone to spice this up a bit?
I don't think that's a very good idea right now.
Jesus Christ, this story. It's already cost me one reporter, and now young Tim. Oh, bugger, I've got to ring his parents. Where do they live? It's in Mildura, is it? Jesus, it's going to kill them.
Alan, do you want to take a break?
No, what I want is for you to find out who did this, and when you find out, nail them to the bloody wall, Bern. You hear me?
Yeah, I hear you, Alan. Look, thank you for this.
What is it?
Copies of a page from Senior Sergeant Bruce Dalton's stable.
Why 2 copies?
Because there's a discrepancy.
Bloody big discrepancy.
We need to get the AG in here now.